Morning, brothers and sisters. Just wanted to give you an update as to what is going on in the life of Missio Dei Church. We have been under this shelter in place restriction for the past 8, maybe 9 weeks, and the elders have been working hard at coming up with a plan to kind of let you know as to how we are going to be re-engaging in the life of the church. We shared this last week with all the ministry leaders to give them an update as to an opportunity to start thinking about how are they going to be moving forward when it comes to our re-engaging as in the life of the church. So what I want to do is I want to share with you briefly some information, our 5-phase plan. But before I do that, I want to remind you of a couple things. Number one, what is our day-to-day mission as a church? We desire to be a church that has a passionate faith in Jesus Christ. And that passionate faith should work itself out in at least 3 ways. One, we want to be a church with a passionate faith in Jesus Christ that sacrificially loves those who are around us, that serves those who are in need around us. And lastly, we want to be a church that is known for drawing people into an ever-deepening relationship with God. And so knowing that, requiring that we love people sacrificially, requires that we recognize fully that there are different feelings about this time that we are in by different people. And you may experience it even in your own household. There are some of you who are just ready to get back into it. You are confident. You are feeling safe and secure. You might even be feeling that some of this is a hoax. And then there's others of you on the other side of the spectrum who are going, I don't feel safe. I might be suffering with diabetes, or I might have some lung issues, or I've got some general health issues that might make me compromised and susceptible to getting COVID-19. And then there's the other part of you, other parts of our church family who are sharing a little bit of each end of the spectrum. And so as a church, we want to be one who loves one another, who is willing to walk with each other even when we do not agree. So COVID-19 should not be a reason why we are experiencing a lack of unity. If anything, it is giving us an opportunity to love each other richly. So, as a church that is sacrificially loving people, serving people in need, drawing people into an ever-deepening relationship with God, I want to encourage you, first and foremost, to use whatever means possible to continue your growing in Christ. Using Zoom meetings, using FaceTime, text messages, phone calls, seeing each other in a parking lot and doing social distancing in a safe way that meets all state and CDC requirements. Do that in such a way that you continue to grow and you're encouraging others to grow. Use whatever means possible that God has given us during this time to continue growing. Continue meeting at 9:30 in your living room on Sunday mornings, listening to the sermon, singing songs, using the liturgy, having discussions. And if you are home alone, call somebody up and just say, hey, can we talk about this morning's sermon? I would love to talk about it with you. Continue growing, brothers and sisters. Until we are able to meet, I want to lay out what our 5-phase program or a reopening strategy is going to be as a church. We are currently in what we would call phase 1. In phase 1, we are still doing family worship. We are under a time of shelter in place, and this includes a 10-person maximum. And so during this time, we want to encourage you, continue being faithful right where you're at. Connect with your brothers and sisters. Zoom, Google Meet, FaceTime. I gave you all kinds of examples earlier. Continue growing. Phase 2 is when the shelter-in-place order and the 10-person maximum lifts. We're able to meet together in larger groups, but we are still not permitted to have large group gatherings at this time. So we are calling this phase 2 is our missional communities times. Uh, Weekly worship will still be done in homes using the resource that the church provides. We are encouraging no building usage during this time, but what has changed is that missional communities, men, women, and youth ministries are permitted to meet in homes. Be meeting in homes as long as the attendance meets the CDC and state guidelines and your members are all comfortable meeting together in homes. We want to encourage those people who are higher risk individuals to stay home if that is where your comfort level is. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Do whatever possible. But during this time, your medium or your smaller groups are able to meet together. We don't have, of course, we don't have dates set to this because we don't have dates, but we are just laying out these phases for you so that you kind of know what to anticipate and what to be praying for. Our next phase is our medium-sized groups. This is when a 50-person gathering max or similar is in place, but we still are not able to meet in large group gatherings yet. This is our weekly worship is still going to be done at homes and using the resources that the church provides, but missional communities may meet in homes to worship together. And not just your missional community, but missional communities up to 50-person gatherings or similar. So maybe 2, 3, or if you have smaller missional communities, maybe 4 missional communities can be gathering together in a home to be worshiping together. Wouldn't that be great? I would love to be worshiping with my missional community and another missional community, to be lifting up Jesus' name together, to be having sermon discussions together, to be praying together. The next phase, though, is where I start to get even more excited. This is what we're going to be calling phase 4, our high safety gatherings. During these high safety gatherings, no formal state or regional restrictions are in place, but there's still the chance that the virus is active and there's no vaccine in place. During this time, we want to be cautious, but we're going to start meeting together in one place. We are going to continue live streaming for those who find themselves to be potentially in danger. They consider themselves high risk, or you're still not feeling safe and secure of meeting together at this time. But during phase 4, we will be meeting together. There'll be no nursery. There won't be kids crossing during that time. We're considering whether or not to have communion because of proximity to one another. So a number of things will be changed. It'll be stripped down, but we will be gathering together as a church, longing for phase 5. Phase 5 will be our new normal. No formal state or regional restrictions are in place. The coronavirus will be either 0 or low cases going on in our area. A vaccine will be able to be in place, and we will be back to our new normal. So that is what we've laid out. I'm going to give this a PDF, make it available to you online in our realm for you to understand a little bit more clearly what are some of the other little fine-tuned changes that will be put in place. But I want you to know that you are being prayed for. Every week when I come to this place, I find myself here in this sanctuary, and I'm sitting in different places. I currently am kind of in the Cowenhoven spot, in the Wolf spot, and I pray for their family. Sometimes I sit more in the back to the left as I'm looking out from the pulpit, and I'm praying for the Pabin family and baby Simon, who is just new to their family. I find myself sometimes sitting over to the right, and over to the right is where the Casper family often sits. I sometimes sit up here in the front section to the right of the pulpit, and that's often where I'll see the chapel family coming and sitting down. So I am praying for you on a regular basis, from the front of the sanctuary to the back. When I preach, I visualize your faces, longing for us to be meeting together as a family. So, brothers and sisters, know that you are being prayed for, you are dearly missed, and you are loved. Be praying for our state, regional, and national leaders. Pray for wisdom. Pray for the scientists and the medical profession as they are working and putting themselves in harm's way and looking for a vaccine. Brothers and sisters, pray for each other. Pray for your growth. Pray for your brothers and sisters' spiritual growth as well. But until we meet again, brothers and sisters, may the peace of Christ be with you and also with you.